I stand alone in the bridal suite at Willamette Valley Vineyard, gazing at my reflection in the full-length mirror. The wedding dress fits flawlessly, every seam and crystal perfectly placed. The makeup artist has truly outdone herself. My eyes appear brighter, my cheekbones sharper, my lips a gentle rose. White roses from my bouquet lie on the vanity waiting. I glance at my phone again, 14th time in 20 minutes. No messages from Mom, nothing from Dad, not even from Logan. A soft knock interrupts the quiet. Martha? The wedding planner peeks in, her practiced smile masking concern. It's time, Caroline. Are you ready? She asks. My gaze drifts to the window overlooking the ceremony. 90 guests are seated neatly, a string quartet playing softly, and in the front row, 3 empty seats stare back, silent reminders. They're not coming, I whisper, my voice trembling despite my efforts. Martha's smile falters. There's still time, she says, but we both know it's a lie. I take a steadying breath and smooth the silk of my gown. The garden doors open. 90 heads turn as I walk down the aisle alone. I feel their sympathetic eyes, tiny pats of pity that make my skin crawl. Some whisper quietly. Others offer encouraging smiles that only widen the emptiness in my chest. I focus on Ethan at the altar, his gaze steady, love radiating from him. For a moment, it nearly erases the memory of my mother's voice from 3 days ago. We'll try, sweetie. Logan's firm has an event that weekend. Her dismissive tone cut through the phone like a casual refusal, not a mother declining her daughter's wedding. I can cover the flights. The hotel. Anything, I'd pleaded, desperation clawing at me. In the background, Dad's voice drifted through. Tell her we're busy. Now. Step by step, I forced myself to breathe. In, out, one foot in front of the other. I will not cry. I will not give them that satisfaction. Reaching Ethan, he takes my hands, warm, steady, real. I'm here, he whispers, too softly for anyone else to hear. We're enough. For a moment, I'm 8 again, standing in our living room as Mom and Dad fuss over Logan's debate trophy. They admire it, photograph it, send it to relatives, while my art certificate sits forgotten in a drawer. I'd shown it proudly, hearing a polite, "That's nice, honey," before Mom returned to cooking dinner. Dad had absently ruffled my hair. Logan needs more support. He's going places. You understand, don't you, Caroline? And Mom always comparing, why can't you be more like your brother? He focuses on what matters. I'd tried harder after that, academic awards, scholarships, business successes, each achievement a plea for attention, each met with distracted acknowledgement, if anything. The ceremony moves on. I recite my vows, voice growing stronger with every word. I choose a future where we truly see each other, I tell Ethan. The words carry weight only he fully understands. When the officiant pronounces us husband and wife, Ethan's mother embraces me warmly. You're one of us now, she whispers, and a tightness in my chest loosens slightly. The photographer captures us dancing beneath string lights, Ethan twirling me as laughter and music circle around us, his family joining in. For brief moments, I manage to forget the family-shaped void in my celebration. I forget the phone I've checked one too many times. I forget the explanations I've offered to curious guests. At the reception, Sarah, my college roommate, lifts her glass. To finding the family who truly deserves you, she says, her eyes locked on mine with unwavering loyalty. A quiet ripple of agreement spreads through the crowd. Her words hit me like a sudden realization. All these years, I've been invisible to those who should have known me best. I've sought approval from people who never intended to give it. When the celebration quiets for a moment, I slip away to check my phone one last time. No missed calls, no messages, not even a simple congratulations. Ethan finds me there, staring at the blank screen. They missed something beautiful today, he says, wrapping an arm around my waist. I look at him, the man who's never made me feel like I have to earn his attention. I think of his family, who welcomed me without hesitation. I think of friends who traveled across the country to be by my side. I set my phone down. Their choice, I say, feeling lighter than I have in years. Not my burden. For the first time, I almost believe it. 2 years later, I lean back in my ergonomic chair, staring at the computer screen. Crescent Motion Studio acquisition, finalized at $21 million. 2 years of negotiation, 5 years of building from scratch, and now validation in 8 figures. My office door bursts open as my team floods in with bottles of champagne and plastic flutes. To Caroline, Jen, my creative director, raises her glass. To the woman who built something from nothing while certain people weren't paying attention, she adds. I smile, clinking glasses with 12 people who actually showed up for me, unlike my family. We celebrate when my phone buzzes. An Instagram notification. Logan posting about his twins' private school fundraiser. I know I shouldn't look. I do anyway. There they are, Mom and Dad flanking Logan and his wife Hannah. Their identical daughters in matching plaid uniforms. Caption: family tradition continues. 3rd generation at Westridge Academy. Dad's arm draped around Logan. Mom beaming at her granddaughters. I scroll through more photos. Logan's family vacation to Hawaii last month. The holiday gathering I wasn't invited to. Dad's retirement party. In every image, they appear as the perfect family. Minus one daughter. More than the photos, it's what they represent. The Maui vacation rental, at least $5,000 per week. Westridge Academy tuition, $30,000 per child per year. Logan's house in a neighborhood where nothing sells under $2 million, all funded by my parents' retirement savings and family investments. According to distant cousins who occasionally remember I exist. Caroline? Jen touches my arm. We lost you for a minute. I lock my phone. Just checking messages. Where were we? The celebration continues around me, but I'm calculating. Logan's law firm is modestly successful. Nowhere near the lifestyle his parents fund. My parents have quietly supported him for years, drawing from their retirement to maintain appearances. Meanwhile, my $21 million acquisition doesn't even earn a text. After my team leaves, I scroll through my parents' social media, hundreds of posts about Logan's achievements, the twins' milestones, family events. My existence is limited to a single generic birthday wish last year, not even a photo attached. I close my laptop and make a decision. The next morning, I call my financial advisor. Porsche Taycan, metallic gray. I want to finalize the purchase today. 3 hours later, I'm signing paperwork for a $135,000 car. Extravagant, unnecessary, exactly what I want. Not for their approval, but because I never needed their money. Back home, I snap a single photo of the car parked in my driveway, the afternoon sun glinting off its metallic surface. I post it on Instagram with a simple caption, "Dreams realized." 3 days pass. Nothing. Then, on Wednesday afternoon, my phone lights up with a name I haven't seen in 5 years. Mom. My stomach tightens as I answer. Hello? Caroline, she says, her voice carrying that unmistakable mix of authority and urgency reserved for family matters. We need to talk. Family meeting tomorrow. Family meeting? I repeat, disbelief heavy in my tone. After 5 years of silence, you're calling about a family meeting? This is important, she replies, pausing as I catch Dad's voice in the background. Tell her it's important, he says, as if I can't hear him. What's important? I ask sharply. My wedding wasn't, my business wasn't, so what exactly matters now? Mom's tone tightens. It's complicated. Financial issues? We need to discuss it as a family, of course. They've seen the car. They know about the acquisition. Suddenly, I'm family again. Tomorrow at 2, I say, ending the call. The next morning, I slide into my new Porsche, the leather cool against my back. The drive to my childhood home takes 40 minutes, time enough to reflect on birthdays celebrated without me, achievements ignored, and holidays spent alone while they gathered without me. I park in the circular driveway, my metallic gray Porsche strikingly modern against their traditional colonial. I sit for a moment, hands gripping the wheel. The last time I stood on this porch was 6 years ago, announcing my engagement to Ethan. Mom had nodded politely, while Dad checked his watch repeatedly, clearly waiting for me to leave. They've never needed me before. Why now? My phone buzzes with a text from Ethan. Remember who you are. Call if you need extraction. I can't help but smile. Another alert. An email from Naomi Blake, the investor who believed in Crescent Motion when no one else would. Your worth isn't defined by those who couldn't see it. A final notification confirms tomorrow's meetings. Don't let them take too much time. You have the production review at 4. I take a deep breath, recalling my therapist's advice. Boundaries aren't punishment, they're protection. I straighten my shoulders and step out of the car. Before I can knock, the front door swings open. Mom and Dad stand there, their expressions shifting from irritation to shock at the sight of the Porsche. "You've done well for yourself," Dad says. Not hello. Not I missed you. Just a financial assessment. Yes, I reply simply. No hugs, no warmth. They lead me to the dining room table where Logan and Hannah sit, their faces a careful study of concern. Logan nods at me, as if we spoke just last week instead of 5 years ago. "Let's get straight to business," Dad says, pulling out financial folders. I remain standing, purse strapped tight, a single sign of the turmoil beneath my calm. "No. First, I'd like to know why I'm suddenly important enough to be included in family discussions after being excluded for years." Mom and Dad exchange glances. Logan shifts uncomfortably. "We can discuss that later," Mom says, her tone slipping into the dismissiveness I know too well. "We have more pressing matters now." "I'm not in a rush," I reply, still standing. "And I'm not interested in being convenient family only when you need something." For the first time in my adult life, I see uncertainty flicker across my father's face. In that moment, I understand they need me now. And for once, I hold the power to decide what happens next. The dining room of my childhood home feels smaller than I remember. Richard sits at the head of the table, hands folded as if he's leading a board meeting rather than addressing a family crisis. Elaine sits beside him, posture perfect, though worry lines crease her forehead. Across from me, Logan slouches in his chair, his designer shirt wrinkled at the cuffs. Hannah sits next to him, a leather photo album open on her lap. "It's foreclosure, Caroline." Richard's voice is firm, yet trembles slightly. "Logan's mortgage is 3 months overdue, and the twins' private school tuition hasn't been paid this semester." I remain silent, letting the tension stretch. After 2 years of no contact, this is what brings us together. You need to help your brother. Richard slides a completed loan document across the polished oak table. The assumption steals my breath. "Think about your niece and nephew." Elaine's voice quivers, a practiced hitch that once would have made me scramble to please her. "They're just children. They shouldn't suffer because of financial problems." Logan leans forward, eyes narrowed. "We're family. That's what family does. When one of us succeeds, we help the others." Hannah flips the album open wider, pushing it toward me. "They ask about Aunt Caroline all the time." She points to photos of children I barely recognize. Their faces bright at a birthday party I wasn't invited to. "Maddie wants to know why you never visit." Richard clears his throat. "We've done everything we could. Our retirement fund is..." He trails off, exchanging a look with Elaine. "We've been supporting them as best we can." The implication hangs in the air. My success means I owe them. My independence is selfish in the face of family need. I close the photo album and slide it back. "Where were you at my wedding?" The question escapes my lips calmly. Logan blinks. "What, my wedding?" 2 years ago. "Where were you?" Elaine's hand flutters to her throat. "We were busy." Logan had that event with his firm. "It wasn't convenient," Richard adds, as if commenting on a missed dinner. I nod slowly, a clarity settling inside me. "And yet here you are now. Because you saw the Porsche on Instagram. You only contacted me because of the car." Logan's face flushes. "That's not fair, isn't it?" I sit straighter, feeling the strength of my financial independence. Where there once was anxious curve, there's steel. I built everything alone, every scholarship, every client, every late night. "Where were any of you?" Richard's eyes narrow. "What does that have to do with the current situation?" "Everything." I fold my hands on the table, mirroring his posture. "I'm listening. Tell me why I should write a check today." Logan slams his hand down. "You always had to prove something. Always showing off how smart you were, how creative, how special. Some of us were just trying to live normal lives." Richard places a hand on Logan's shoulder. "Your brother had more potential. We had to nurture that. You were always so independent." "We're still your parents," Elaine whispers, tears forming. "Despite everything." "You were parents in title only." My voice is steady, even to myself. "You missed my high school graduation, my college scholarship ceremony, the launch of my company, my wedding." I tap the table with each missed milestone. "You missed my life. And now you want to share in what that life has built." "Caroline," Richard starts. "You didn't build this success," I continue. "You don't get to share it?" My phone vibrates. I glance down at Ethan's message. "You okay?" "Meeting running long. Inner asso." Seeing his name brings back Naomi Blake's words when she invested in my startup. You don't need approval from anyone who can't see your light. I think of my team at Crescent Motion, their faces glowing as we celebrated the acquisition. These were the people who saw me, supported me, and believed in what I could build. In my briefcase lies the contract for the foundation funding, signed by the board just last Tuesday. People who trust me with purpose, not merely money. Richard slides the loan paperwork toward me. We're only asking for what's reasonable. Family helps family, he says. The interest rate is fair, Elaine adds, as though extending a favor. Logan smirks, confidence returning. I stand deliberately, the room turning to watch. My motion draws their attention as I reach for the briefcase and place it on the table with a soft thud. I've made a different decision, I announce. Logan's gaze locks on my hands as I unlatch the briefcase. Richard leans forward, Elaine twists a napkin in her lap. Instead of a checkbook, I withdraw a single document and set it on the table. This is the announcement for the Rivera Media Scholarship. Foundation, $16 million to create opportunities. For young women in digital media arts, I smooth the paper, knowing the press release goes out tomorrow. $16 million. Logan chokes. The foundation is named after Miss Rivera, my high school media arts teacher, the woman who attended my gallery shows when my family was too busy. The funds are legally protected in a foundation trust, approved by the board last week. Silence falls across the table. I'm helping girls who never got the applause I missed, I say, gathering my belongings. That's what family means to me. Logan's face tightens. You're wasting it on strangers. Girls who deserve better than I received, I reply, snapping the briefcase closed. Girls who need someone to invest in them. My parents sit stunned, staring at the document representing millions they'll never touch. I pick up my phone, turning the screen toward them. A recording app shows an active timer, 36:14 and counting. I've documented every manipulative message from today, every threat, every guilt trip, just in case anyone tries to challenge the foundation legally, I say softly. My footsteps echo as I walk toward the door. Behind me, Logan's chair scrapes violently. You can't just leave. We need that money. I pause, not turning back. No, Logan, what you needed was to show up. At my graduation, my company launch, my wedding, that opportunity has passed. I place my hand on the doorknob. The door clicks softly, a sound of freedom. The Porsche hums beneath me as I drive away from my childhood home. My knuckles relax on the wheel, steadier with every mile. I press the call button. It's done, I tell Ethan when he answers. They showed exactly who they are. How bad was it? His voice carries concern. Exactly what we expected, I reply, breathing deeply, feeling lighter than I have in hours. Logan lost it when he saw the foundation paperwork. Dad tried to mediate while Mom cried over family obligations. Are you okay? Ethan asks. I glance in the rearview mirror. No tears, no embarrassment, just a clear-eyed woman looking back. I'm better than okay. For the first time, I see them clearly, without hoping for change. I'm proud of you, Ethan says. Remember foundation board meeting at 9 tomorrow. Everything's ready for the press announcement. The timing had been intentional. To legally establish the foundation before any family confrontation. To announce it before they could regroup. No emotional pleas, just legal safeguards. The Rivera Media Scholarship would be my legacy, not a family drama. The first message arrives at 11:47 p.m. By midnight, my phone buzzes with family emergency texts. I silence it and place it face down. The house is quiet except for Ethan's steady breathing. Morning brings 6 voicemails from Mom, escalating from tearful pleas for family unity to accusations of betrayal, ending with warnings about what others will think of a daughter abandoning her family. Handled worse, I tell myself, applying mascara to ground my morning routine. My navy suit, the one I wore to sign the acquisition papers, hangs ready. Ethan hands me coffee. Logan's calling business associates, he says, scrolling through his phone, and my dad tried contacting my uncle. Predictable. I take a sip of coffee. Bitter, but energizing. They're moving faster than I expected, yet not any more cunning. The foundation board meeting proceeds smoothly. 12 accomplished women from media and finance. All personally vetted, all committed to supporting young female artists. The press release is approved unanimously. Launch details are finalized. The first scholarship recipient will be chosen in 6 months. I'm reviewing the event venue proposal when Janine from reception calls. "Miss Rivera, your family is here." They're making quite a scene. Through the glass walls of my office, I see security moving toward the lobby. I straighten papers unnecessarily and instruct, "Please escort them out calmly and professionally." I watch as my mother's voice rises over the office hum. "My daughter is abandoning her family," she shouts, hands flailing, pearl earrings swinging. Logan stands beside her, arms crossed, face flushed in that familiar childhood red when denied something. My team looks to me for guidance. I rise, smooth my skirt, and move to the office door. "It's being handled," I say with the calm I've rehearsed. "Let's continue our work." Security escorts my family to the elevators. Logan's voice carries back, "This isn't over. We have family obligations you can't ignore." That evening, I draft a single email to all three of them. "I have documented your harassment at my workplace. Any further contact at my office will result in a formal complaint. All family communications must go through my attorney, whose contact information is attached. Caroline, direct and clear." Patricia, my therapist, comments 2 days later. In her sunlit office, the faint scent of jasmine tea between us, she asks, "How did it feel sending that?" "Necessary," I reply, tracing the armchair pattern. "Not satisfying?" "Exactly. More like setting a boundary," she suggests. I look up. "They're showing who they've always been, aren't they?" I ask, Patricia nods. People reveal themselves under pressure. This isn't new behavior, just amplified. The realization hits me. I wanted their love, but they wanted my resources. That distinction is crucial. Years of childhood neglect, absent parents, only appearing when I had something to offer. My job wasn't to earn their love. It was theirs to give freely. And now? Cly asks. "Now I know I'm not responsible for fixing them," I say, feeling it settle in my bones. Freedom. The next morning, Logan contacts the Portland Chronicle about a family dispute. The reporter, sharper than he expected, asks why none of them attended my wedding. The story unintentionally highlights absent parents suddenly interested in wealth. My mother's social media outburst backfires, generating an unexpected wave of support. Former classmates, business associates, even distant relatives send messages of solidarity. "We always wondered why they never mentioned your success," writes a cousin I haven't seen in years. Richard's attempts to contact my investors fail. They refuse to discuss personal matters. The community rallies behind the Scholarship Foundation instead, with applications already arriving months before the official launch. The Portland Business Journal requests an interview. I agree. Setting boundaries. We'll discuss the scholarship's purpose and impact. Not family drama. Reporter Delia Warren meets me at the foundation's temporary office. "This is an impressive initiative," she says, reviewing the $16 million seed funding prospectus. "What inspired such generosity?" I consider my words. "I had a teacher who believed in me when no one else did. Miss Rivera changed my life simply by noticing my potential. I want to offer that same opportunity to young women who might otherwise be overlooked." Delia notes that I've built an impressive career, highlighting Crescent Motion's acquisition as one of last year's major tech stories. She asks if my family is proud. The question lingers. I could sidestep it, steer the conversation elsewhere. Instead, I meet her gaze. My achievements were accomplished without family support. They weren't present at my wedding, my graduation, or when I sold my company. Delia pauses, pen in hand. This context sheds light on the foundation's mission. Later that week, the article publishes under the headline, "Self-Made Success Creates Legacy of Support." Public attention frames the contrast between my generosity and my family's entitlement. Days later, when Logan's house foreclosure hits the news, people connect the dots without a word from me. Ethan manages increased home security, while my business team oversees communications, filtering messages, and prioritizing foundation work. Naomi Blake, my first investor and mentor, issues a statement praising my dedication to uplifting others rather than fostering dependency. College friends create a protective circle, filling our calendar with dinners and events that leave no room for family drama. Patricia anchors me during our weekly sessions. The United Front emerges, a chosen, intentional, supportive family. 2 weeks after the confrontation, I received the Business Leadership Award from the Women in Media Alliance. Standing at the podium, seeing genuine celebration in the audience, I realized the tables have turned. My parents' retirement plans are now postponed indefinitely. Hannah's social standing in her country club circles has suffered with their financial collapse. Logan's twins will attend public school next semester. Meanwhile, the foundation thrives, garnering positive coverage beyond Portland. The story resonates not because of revenge, but because I transformed pain into purpose. The scholarship committee selects 3 finalists for the first award. Jeanine places the portfolios on my desk, asking for my feedback by Friday. I open the first file to review a young woman's work, talent recognized by a teacher when no one else noticed. The circle completes itself, healing through action rather than dwelling on the past. Family becomes defined by deeds, not claims. For the first time, I feel truly seen. Weeks later, I delete the 4th voicemail from Aunt Meredith without listening past her plea. "Everyone misses you. Caroline." A Thanksgiving invitation lingers in my inbox. Subject line, "Family needs to be together, a clear attempt at manipulation." A text from cousin Drew arrives. "Can't you just talk to them?" He doesn't understand. He wasn't at my empty wedding. He didn't witness 20 years of invisibility. Yesterday, a letter from Mom arrives. Her handwriting unmistakable, she writes, "We always believed in you, as if rewriting our history." The envelope sits half-burned in my fireplace, its edges curled and blackened like the lies it contains. Last week, Dad calls my office. "We need to clear the air." His voice carries no acknowledgement of their past actions. My assistant, following instructions, tells him I am permanently unavailable. The final straw comes when Logan sends the twins to my office with handmade cards. "We miss Aunt Caroline," written in childish handwriting I know isn't theirs. The manipulation is palpable. Ethan observes, examining the cards on the counter. They are desperate. I review the week's collection of attempts, but there is still no real apology. The family attorney calls next, tone professionally neutral. "There are moral obligations, Caroline. Family ties carry responsibilities." The message is clear. I am cast as the villain, the heartless daughter abandoning her struggling family. Pastor Wilson, from the church I stopped attending years ago, leaves a voicemail. "Your parents are deeply concerned. Perhaps we could meet to discuss reconciliation?" 2 childhood friends, absent from my life for a decade, suddenly reach out. "Your parents seem heartbroken," says one. "The holidays are for forgiveness," says the other. Logan's wife, Hannah, emails photos of the twins in Halloween costumes. The children ask about me constantly. I nearly throw my phone. "They are framing this as my responsibility," I tell my therapist. "My forgiveness, my duty, my failure to be the bigger person. And how does that make you feel?" She asks, her gaze steady, angry, I admit, but also it validated. They wouldn't fight this hard if they weren't afraid of losing control. The Foundation's selection meeting presents an unexpected challenge. The committee recommends a scholarship for Maya Harrison, a 17-year-old filmmaker whose application video shows both exceptional talent and a raw, familiar pain. She reminds me of myself. That night, I tell Ethan quietly, determinedly, overlooked. I watch Maya's video again. Her eyes carry the same weariness I see in my own wedding photos. She describes finding her voice through filmmaking when her family refused to listen. What if I'm wrong to cut them off completely? The question slips out before I can stop it. Ethan sits beside me on the couch. "What brought this on?" he asks. "Maya, if I'm telling these girls to find their strength, am I modeling that by running from my family? Is setting boundaries the same as running away?" I consider this. No, boundaries aren't abandonment. What would you tell Maya if her family treated her like mine treated me? I ask myself. The answer is clear. She deserves people who recognize her worth. The Thursday before Thanksgiving, I host dinner at our home. The table stretches to fit everyone. Ethan beside me, Naomi across, my business team scattered around. Maya sits at the far end, her framed scholarship certificate on the sideboard behind her. Our home glows with warmth my parents never provided. Candles flicker in silver holders. Laughter bounces off the walls. No one here needs to prove their value to be seen. I raise my glass. To those who see us as we are? The toast echoes. My phone stays off, notifications silenced. The evening flows smoothly. Conversations move naturally without the subtle judgment I grew up with. Over dessert, I announce the Foundation's new mentorship program. I'll be personally involved with each recipient, I explain. We're building connections that matter. Maya's eyes widen. You'll mentor us yourself? Every step of the way, I say, smiling. This foundation isn't just about funding, it's about creating something meaningful. Naomi nods approvingly. You've built structures no one can interfere with. I confirm the foundation's independence is legally secured. Its success will be measured by impact, not approval. Later, while clearing plates, Ethan turns on the local news. Right on schedule, the feature on the foundation airs, coinciding with my family's traditional dinner hour. On screen, I speak with confidence I've earned. We build family through action, not obligation. The report shifts to financial analysis, contrasting the foundation's transparency with examples of mismanagement, subtly referencing Logan's business failures. Maya watches, riveted. They're actually comparing your brother's company to the foundation? Facts speak for themselves. I stack dessert plates calmly. The community has recognized what my family never did. The next morning, my parents request a meeting at a downtown cafe. I arrive in the Porsche, the car that sparked their sudden interest after years of silence. Dad looks older than I remember, defeat etched into his face. We should have been there, he admits, staring at his untouched coffee. At the wedding? I ask, though I know it's not the full meaning. His voice cracks as he continues, all those years. Mom's eyes shimmer with tears. How can we fix this? 3 months ago, I might have grabbed at this chance for acknowledgement. Now I feel only calm clarity. Some things can't be fixed, I say. Only accepted, Mom flinches. I'm not closing the door forever, I continue. But I need accountability, not convenience. I'll consider limited contact once you both start therapy. That's unnecessary, Dad begins, old dismissiveness rising. It's non-negotiable. I sip my tea, the warmth spreading through me like certainty. They exchange a glance, silent communication between people unaccustomed to consequences. Logan's financial collapse has stripped away their illusions of superiority. My success exists beyond their reach. The foundation thrives without their approval. When they leave, no agreements are made, no concessions offered. I watch them walk to their modest sedan, the luxury vehicles long gone. I drive away without looking back, freedom replacing obligation with every heartbeat. The foundation awaits. Maya's project needs review. My chosen family expects me for dinner. For the first time, I'm moving toward something instead of away from someone, and that changes everything. I stand in the sunlit Crescent Foundation studio, watching Maya adjust her camera. Morning light streams through tall windows, casting golden patterns across the hardwood floor. It's been a year since I faced my family for the last time, I think. What do you think about this angle? Maya asks, eyes bright with the same creative spark Miss Rivera once saw in mine. Move it slightly to the left. Catch how the light falls. My voice carries the confidence of a mentor, not the pleading of a daughter seeking approval. Behind Maya, photos showcase our scholarship recipients' projects, voices that might have been silenced without the foundation. Each frame represents a story once at risk of being unheard. My office replaces the childhood bedroom where I once longed to be seen. Every element, from the ergonomic chair to the unapologetically displayed awards, was chosen deliberately. Nothing inherited, nothing bound by duty or guilt. I've completed the final cut of my documentary, Maya says, straightening in her chair. Would you like to watch it with me? We move to the editing bay, the project playing on the high-definition monitor. Her documentary traces 3 generations of women in a rural Oregon family, capturing their struggles and resilience through Maya's lens. Watching it, I feel a pride unlike anything I've known. This isn't about me. It's about what she has created and will continue to create. When the credits finish, Maya turns to me, tears glinting in her eyes. You're the reason I believe I can do this, she says, pulling me into an unplanned hug. I think of Miss Rivera, who saw potential in me when my own parents couldn't, and whose belief sustained me through years of indifference. Now the cycle continues, not of neglect, but of real support. Later that week, I stand at the podium of the Portland Arts Center, accepting a Community Leadership Award. The audience applauds. Every face reflects recognition and respect, not pity. Ethan sits in the front row, pride evident in every smile. Tonight, no empty seats remind me of absence. Every person here sees me as I truly am. Thank you, I begin, my voice calm and firm. This journey started in invisibility, and it has led to impact. For years, I measured my worth by approval I couldn't earn from those unwilling to give it. Now, I measure it by what we build together. The standing ovation washes over me like a cleansing wave. My therapist calls this post-traumatic growth, a quiet peace that comes from accepting that some wounds may never fully heal. I maintain clear boundaries with extended family. Holidays now revolve around chosen family, filled with genuine joy rather than unease. Ethan and I have created our own traditions. Last month, Naomi's retirement party at the foundation united the circles of support that lifted me when my own family couldn't. My latest project, the Emergency Fund for Students Facing Financial Hardship, ensures talent isn't limited by circumstance. I now understand what these young women need because I lived without it. Unconditional belief in their potential. Driving home in my Porsche, I pass the coffee shop where I once edited videos on a borrowed laptop. I catch a glimpse of my parents on the sidewalk. Our eyes meet briefly. I keep driving. There's no pain, only quiet acknowledgement. They showed me what love isn't. Ethan and my work taught me what it is. Tomorrow, Maya will set up for her next project. I'll be there, camera in hand, sharing techniques I've honed over years of making myself visible. Family isn't who raises you, it's who lifts you.